Today the colleges are rated by means of which the opportunity they offer to their students for the placement. When it comes to the placement, most of the colleges key performance index is the number of students placed. But who is shouldering this responsibility? Usually this job is the concern of training and placement officer. But is the one person responsible for that? No. It's actually a joint responsibility of all the stakeholders and mainly the faculty and staff of the institutes. But then everyone is not trained that how to handle the number of different aspects that are required for the training and placement activity. So we have to have one person responsible to whom we refer as the training and placement officer to take care of this portfolio. But as on date, if we see, we do not have any standard recruitment procedures. We do not have specific hiring procedure, and we do not have any specific job analysis or the criteria for the recruitment of the training and placement officer even. Training, placement and development, though these activities are combined into one, but they are having the variety of the aspect to be handled. Training itself is one sort of specialization. When it comes to the training of the student, we have to define that what are the different aspects related to it. It may be a curriculum development, it may be a selection of agency for that, it may be the standard operating procedure. So our main emphasis should be on development of standard guidelines for the position of training and placement, and then we need to have a specific line of action for this complete execution of number of activities that comes under the domain of training and placement officer. The first that comes into the picture is nothing but how to select the students, to know what are the areas in which they excel and what are the areas in which they need the improvement. So that is what we refer as the TNA, training need analysis. And training need analysis is not only limited to the students. In fact, it is required for every stakeholder, right from student to the board of directors. And that's why we need a one person who is having the complete idea to carry out the training need analysis for the students, for the faculties, for the staff members, to the committee members, to the different coordinators handling different portfolio, to the board of directors. And for that one, we have to have the clearly defined policies for and the formats and the methods. That means a complete training need analysis. Having done this, then knowing the potential, we would like to hunt the different agencies which are imparting the training. That means the vendor development. And this is a very crucial issue. Until and unless the person holding this position of training and placement is not having the exposure to this area. And as I said, as on date, we do not have any standard procedures for the recruitment of training and placement officer. So it does affect that many times the people with the backgrounds of some management science, having some postgraduate qualification in MBA or with the specialization like HR, are usually recruited for the position. But that not the enough. A person who is having some exposure to the industries, who knows the corporate culture, who knows the protocols, who knows how to interact with these people, who knows how to sign the MOUs, how to sign the agreements or contracts. Until and unless he don't have that vision, he can't be a good hunter for the vendor even. So that's the second phase. Then third comes is nothing but coordinating all those activities of the training. And for that also, as I mentioned, curriculum must be properly executed. And for that one, we have to have a perfect feedback system, what we refer as the evaluation. So we have to have a certain methods of evaluation. Again, there comes things that we need to clearly define it. Again, the question of standard guidelines, standard procedures for operations. Once we did it, then comes the rating of the vendor or the sources that we have funded for imparting the training. At the same time, we have to take care of the other aspects, like the development part of the people who have already undergone the training and their feedbacks. So when we refer as the appraisal from all the perspective, which is commonly known as 360 degree of appraisal, we need to carry out. Because that determines that the efficiency and effectiveness of the vendor who is going to impart the training. Once we did it, then the next phase comes to train our students to get ready into the job. So we need to take care all the aspects of their software skills development, personality trait development, and so on. We need to train them on variety of the aspects, maybe interviewing skills, maybe the grooming skills, maybe group discussion skills, or negotiation skills, or whatever it is. So we need to take care of all the aspects, right from their basic communication to conversation skill to the presentation skills. And then the next comes is the recruitment, final opportunity for the placements. Again, selection of the right recruiters, selection of the employer that will make the perfect match of his expectation and our student deliverables is the another key task placement officer is supposed to perform. For that one, again he needs to have the perfect guidelines that how he can carry out the analysis of the credential. Who is our recruiter? What is his standing in the market? What is his current human strengths? What is his turnover? Or overall branding of that product? What is your history and of recruitment in the past and how he has sustained and made the retention of his own staff? These things are equally responsible. Nowadays we can see that when there are so many false promises the recruiters are giving and students are sitting on the bench for waiting for the opportunity for a long time. This should not be a story with us. And for that one, again, we need to define a critically complete analytical skill sets for which on time frame how the student can be recruited, if they are given an opportunity, when their letters of offers will be delivered, and if not, in case of failures, what corrective measure to be taken. And that's why our own experiences must be shared with even the others. And there are so many other aspects also. Just in one discussion it could not be enough to tell what it read. But yes, now it's the duty of every college, every institute to recruit up one person who take care of this one. And for that one, it is the duty of the policy makers to critically define standard guidelines, standard operating procedures for the position of the training and placement officer. It must take care of every single thing from the recruitment to the selection to the training to the development and the retention and so on and so forth. So I earnestly request all the policy makers in the arena of higher education that we must give the due emphasis on these aspects of position of the training and placement. I hope that the members will understand the adequacy of this position and they will give the due credential of defining this in the future. I hope this will definitely give a new age to the institute to perform and to build their own branding.